Hey, how's it going? Kenny here, and welcome back to another tactic testing video. And up in today's video, I'll be testing the tactic Olelbis 3-3-2-2 with three different Premier League clubs: Chelsea, Fulham, and Southampton. Also, it's worth noting that I am not the creator of this tactic. The person who created this tactic, his name is Olelbis. Surprise, surprise. If you're interested in checking out the tactic in full and what he has to say about it, then the link will be down in the description below. And as I said before, I did not create this tactic, so I cannot take any credit or any stick for how the tactic goes here in today's video. I selected Chelsea, firstly because he tested it out with Chelsea on his page there, so I thought I'd give it a go with Chelsea as well, see how they'll do for me. And also, I think Chelsea are a team that are quite suited to the three at the back system, especially these days with the defenders they've got. Obviously, Koulibaly's not pulling up any trees this season, but the likes of Fofana, also Badiashile just signed as well, Thiago Silva, and obviously James and Chilwell are arguably two of their biggest creators in the team. So I feel like it's a good system to have for Chelsea. I feel like it can be successful for Chelsea. I'm expecting it to be as well, to be honest. Hopefully they can finish higher in the league than they are in real life currently, in 10th place. That would be very, very nice. Also, I'm testing out with Fulham and Southampton. But first things first, let's get it started with Chelsea. I'm going to go on holiday. I'm going to select use current match tactics, and let's see what happens. Before we get started with Chelsea results, please remember, guys, that if you like this video, hit that like button for me. It'd really help this video get seen by more people. And also, if you're new around here and you want to see more content, then do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out, and much appreciated as well. So let's get started with Chelsea's results then. What did they do? Well, first things first, it's not great. It's not great at all, to be honest. They finished 5th in the league, and although that might seem quite good for where they are in real life currently, it's not great, is it really? It's Chelsea we're talking about here. A team who wins a lot of competitions, Champions League in recent times, the league titles, cup competitions, everything they can win, they've won in the last 20 years or so, or even 10 years. So, yeah, fifth place with Chelsea. Not great at all. 8 points off Arsenal in 4th place, and also 23 points off Liverpool in 1st place. It's also not completely disastrous, but really, if you're managing Chelsea, you got to expect top 4 minimum, mate. You surely have to get top 4 minimum. So that is disappointing. I've noticed their goal difference. I've got plus 34 goal difference, which is normally a very high goal difference. I'd expect them to get more than 66 points. But we'll check that out in full in a minute. In terms of the Champions League, well, they knocked down the Champions League. They finished 3rd. They did have a tricky group, though, with Bayern Munich and Inter Milan in there. But still, Chelsea are better than Inter Milan, aren't they? Well, they should be better than Inter Milan anyway. So that's disappointing. Still should expect to finish 2nd in the group. And also potentially win the group. Let's not forget that Chelsea did win the Champions League, 2 years ago now? Or was it 3 years ago? It was 2 or 3 years ago now. So I think it was 2. So they can even finish 1st in that group as well, Bayern Munich in there. So that is disappointing as well. And they went down to the Europa League, of course, for finishing 3rd in the Champions League group stage. Knocked out in the round of 16 by Lazio. Another disappointment there. Knocked out in the 5th round of the FA Cup by Man United. And knocked out in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup by Arsenal. So, yeah, not a great season by any means by Chelsea here. Nothing in 5 different competitions. Nothing really to shout about. The biggest achievement of the season was a semi-final Carabao Cup appearance. As I said, a team who've won the Champions League in the last 2 seasons. That's pretty pathetic, isn't it? So, yeah, this tactic has not worked out too well for Chelsea, it seems. I'm interested to check out what's going on. Let's check out the results here. Well, it started off quite well. Beat Bournemouth 2-0. Lost away to Man United 2-0 as well, though. And then beat another 3 teams in the first month of the season. 4 clean sheets in the first month. Saying that, though, the teams they played were Bournemouth, Brighton, Fulham and Palace. I'm not saying that any of them are not tricky games, but there are four games they should be winning, really. And the only game that they shouldn't be winning, they lost away to Man United 2-0. So, not as spectacular as it seems. Still, they won 5 of the first 6 league games, though, which, of course, is very nice. Well, that's disappointing in terms of the Champions League. They lost at home to Bayern Munich 2-0, and they lost at home to Inter Milan 3-2 as well. They actually beat Inter 4-0 away from home, so that is just shocking. This period here, towards the end of October, was quite dodgy for Chelsea, has to be said. Drawing at home to Wolves, losing away to Villa, drawing at home to Leeds, home to Leicester as well. It's pretty shocking. But all in all, it doesn't seem that bad at the start of the season. Here we go. Had some great results in there, though. They beat Port Vale 8-0 at home, which is only Port Vale. But before that, they beat Newcastle 4-0 at home. They beat Newcastle 6-1 away as well. So, like playing Newcastle, which is a bit surprising. Got absolutely battered by Arsenal in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, by the way. Lost 3-0 away and 4-0 at home. 7-0 in aggregate. That's pretty embarrassing. The month of February was quite good. Did quite well in there. Beat Man City 4-2 at home. So some great results in there. Beat Southampton 6-1 away, 6-1 at home as well. But the month that probably killed them the most, really, was March. Lost away to Man United 5-0 in the FA Cup 5th round. That is embarrassing to say the least. Lost away to Leeds 1-0 as well. Lost at home to Lazio 4-3. So some very mixed results here with this tactic, it seems. Some very, very mixed results. Being the likes of Man City 4-2. Newcastle 6-1 away. Then losing at home to Arsenal 4-0. Losing at home to Lazio 4-3. Losing away to Man United 5-0. So some very bizarre results in there. That is the case here. And 5 losses out of 5 in March in 3 different competitions. Absolutely abysmal. Had a great period there as well, but ended the season quite dodgy as well. So all in all, just very inconsistent. For a team like Chelsea as well, it's clearly nowhere near good enough. Some great results in here, but also some absolute stinkers of some results as well. Let's check out the squad. Well, best player of the season by quite a distance as well in terms of the average rating is Kai Havertz. He did quite well in the system. 20 goals and 17 assists. I wonder whether they're actually playing him. Well, played him most of the time at attacking midfield, but a lot of the time at striker as well. But with attacking midfield, he had 13 goals and 14 assists in 35 games. So Havertz did really well in the system. So that's one positive to take, of course. Zakaria didn't start too many games. N'Golo Conte was 7.13. But other than Havertz, no one really had a great season. Havertz had a good season, a very good season. But other than that, just some alright seasons, has to be said. Sterling with 27 goals and 9 assists, so over 1 in 2 in 50 games there, but only a 7.12 average rating, so that's been very inconsistent. Reece James as well with 17 assists, that is very nice. How about Chilwell? How did he do? Well, Ben Chilwell on the left wing back position only got 4 assists, which is disappointing. Aubameyang got 17 goals and 19 starts. Broja got 12 goals as well. Mount with 8 goals, so there's goals in the team. Havertz and James both got 17 assists as well. How about the defence? How did the defence do? Well, Thiago Silva, arguably one of the best defenders in the world in terms of actual defensive attributes, was 6.69 from 44 starts, so he did not do too well at the heart of the defence there. Abel Mendy with 6.88, Koulibaly with 6.91 as well, Wesley Fofana with 7.05. So it seems like with the system here for Chelsea, the defence has let them down. So a different defender apart from Thiago Silva with some pace. Maybe it will help, I don't know, but you can't really talk anything bad about Thiago Silva, really, can you? So check out the league table in full here. They won 19 games, drew 9 and lost 10. 78 goals scored. So as I said, going forward, not really a problem. 44 goals conceded as well. Not terrible, but you take the distance between that and Liverpool Man City, it's a big old gap, isn't it? So defensively, needs a bit of work, this tactic for Chelsea, has to be said. How about the home record? How did that do? Well, Chelsea at home, won 11, drew 6, lost 2. So it's not the greatest of home records, is it really? Not the greatest. Losing at home to Villa as well cannot be forgiven. Drawing at home to Palace, Brentford, Leeds, Wolves. These are teams Chelsea should be beating. So all in all, I'm going to say this is quite a failure for Chelsea. Away from home, 8 wins, 3 draws and 8 losses. Not too bad. The home record was better. They could have gone places this season. But all in all, just a bit inconsistent, has to be said. It's not a tactic I'd use for Chelsea, although it can be used with a little bit of tweaks. But anyway, let's check out the second team in this video here today. Let's check out Southampton. Okay, well, time for Southampton now. Bit nervous about this one. Southampton, of course, are bottom of the league in real life. They've just won the last 2 games, though, in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, so maybe they're going to turn things around very soon. But I'm a bit nervous about Southampton. The team just does not look amazing. Remember Southampton when they had Mane, Van Dijk, etc. Obviously, they sold them off to Liverpool and other teams as well, but the team just is not looking very, very good these days. It's looking like a team that could be very good in 5 years' time. They've got some very promising youngsters going through who they signed. They basically signed the whole of Man City's youth team this season, didn't they? So that's very bizarre. But yeah, the front four there, really, is that good? Che Adams doesn't look like a Premier League striker to me, to be honest. Mara, Aribo and Stuart Armstrong. It's not the best front four you've ever seen in the world, is it? I think the wing-backs are quite decent, though. Livramento and Walker-Peters. Livramento, of course, is injured for 6 to 7 months, so a bit useless this season. Ward-Prowse, of course, as well, is just unbelievable. 20 free kicks, 20 corners. Well, it was 20 work rate, 20 stamina and 20 natural fitness. Unbelievable. What a player. What a player. So hopefully he can run the club forward. But anyway, without further ado, going to go on holiday, select use current match tactics, and let's see how they get on. Well, I have to say I'm very surprised about Southampton. They finished as high as 6th in the league, only 1 place below what Chelsea managed with the same tactic. So maybe this tactic is decent after all. Southampton in 6th place. It's been a long old time since we saw Southampton up in those positions, so that's pretty good actually. Only 6 points off the Champions League place as well, which is very nice. Well, it's very tight up there. Southampton are only 2 points to go to Newcastle in 9th place, but at the end of the day, they got into the Europa League places. 6th in the league. Well, that's a big success, especially with Southampton this season. Look like, well, everyone's strong favourites to get relegated this season, aren't they? FA Cup knocked down the 5th round by West Ham, so nothing to show out there. And the Carabao Cup knocked down the 3rd round by West Brom. So in the cup competitions, nothing to talk of there. But the Premier League, 6th in the league, that's absolutely brilliant. And a hell of a lot of places above their media prediction, that is for sure. Well, Southampton started off the new season, the only season, sorry, very, very good. They beat Forest away 2-0. They actually started off with 5 wins out of their first 6 games in all competitions, and they lost away to Newcastle 2-1, but nothing really to be ashamed of there. Newcastle are obviously a great team these days, but their first real problem is when they played Leeds, and they lost 5-0 away to Leeds. Why are Leeds so overpowered in this FM, by the way? They always seem to finish in the top 6 or 7 whenever I watch them. Maybe Southampton 5-0, that's just ridiculous. Terrible loss. But anyway, they backed up losing away to Leeds 5-0 by beating Arsenal away 4-2. So very, very bizarre. They then played Liverpool away, lost 2-1 to them. Lost away to Man City 5-0 as well. Nothing. Well, it's never nice to lose 5-0, of course, but when you've got Haaland run at you, there's not much you can do, is there, really? Beat Villa 4-1, lost away to Chelsea 4-1, beat Leicester away 4-3, then lost away to West Ham 5-4 after extra time in the FA Cup. And, look at all these goals, man. This is absolutely crazy. They beat Leicester 4-3 away, then they lost away to West Ham 5-4 after extra time, then they drew at home to Forest 3-0, and then they beat West Ham in the game of the century 6-5 away from home. Oh my word. If you've got a season ticket for Southampton, or a full season ticket, you're definitely not going to be bored, that is for sure. What a goal fest. What a goal fest. Lost away to Fulham 4-2 in the final game of the season as well. Let's check out the squad here. Well, I've really spotted a couple of good players here. You can see where all the goals have come from. Wow, what a difference that is. Adam Armstrong with 30 goals in the season. I'm so surprised about that because he doesn't look like anything like a Premier League striker. 30 goals in 41 starts. Amazing. And also, Che Adams with 29 goals in 43 starts. And the third best finisher was only 5 goals. That was Aribo, Armstrong and Mara. Ward-Prowse, by the way, with only 2 goals in the season. And he guaranteed at least 10 goals a season with his free kicks. Very, very bizarre. He did get 14 assists though. So yeah, the goals are not spread out very well with Southampton, but the good news is there are 2 strikers firing on all cylinders. Armstrong with 30 and Adams with 29. Who else performed well in the season? Well, Ward-Prowse, the captain, not too many goals, but 7.3 average rating, which is very nice. 2 goals and 14 assists. Stuart Armstrong did really well as well. So maybe their front 4 is nowhere near as bad as what I said it was. Aribo did well as well. Walker-Peters with 10 assists. The defenders nowhere to be seen again. Salisu with 6.9. Coletta Char with 6.89 as well. Bella Kotchap with 6.84. So defensively, it doesn't seem to be working too well as tactic, but saying that, you can finish 6th for Southampton, then that's a massive success in my opinion. So Chelsea underwhelming, but Southampton with 74 goals and 70 conceded. So goals for, very, very nice. Goals conceded, a little bit on the high side, but still in a +4 goal difference. Great season for Southampton. Anyway, let's go check out the final team in the video. Let's check out Fulham. Well, Fulham, of course, are flying high massively in the Premier League this season. I think they're up to 6th now after beating Chelsea last night. Mitrovic up front, he's an absolute beast, isn't he? He's an absolute beast this season and last season in the Championship, of course. How will Fulham do, though? Because, of course, they are exceeding expectations massively in real life in FM. Can they survive relegation? I think that's the main aim, really, for Fulham. But saying that, just seeing Southampton finishing in 6th place, they've raised the bar a bit there, Southampton. So hopefully Fulham can follow suit quite nicely from Southampton there, but don't get your hopes too up. Anyway, on the goal holiday, I'm going to select use Karamatch tactics, and let's see how Fulham get on. Okay, well, Fulham weren't quite as good as Southampton, but they did finish in a respectable 13th position. I think you get that to Fulham fans before the start of the season, they'd happily take that. Now they're sitting in 6th place, maybe they won't take it, but in realistic FootballManager here, 13th, FootballManager more realistic than real life. What am I talking about? But anyway, Fulham 13th in the league, 4 points clear the relegation zone, so it came down quite tight. Look at Chelsea, by the way, in 16th place. What on earth is going on? They survived relegation on goal difference. This simulation's broken. What is going on there? There's Fandom, by the way, 21 points bottom of the league, so that proves how good that tactic was. But Chelsea, could this happen in real life? Could they survive relegation by goal difference? I highly doubt it, but that is crazy. What on earth is going on? I've seen some big teams be relegated before, not in the first season though. That is mad, absolutely mad. Anyway, don't get sidetracked, Kenny. We're here for Fulham. In the FA Cup, they got knocked down in the 4th round by Birmingham, so that's pretty terrible. But in the Carabao Cup, they finished as runner-up, so great season for Fulham, that 13th in the league and runner-up in the Carabao Cup. Judging by this, I think they must have lost in the final to Chelsea because they qualified for the Europa Conference League, a West London final. So it's a bit disappointing there, but all in all, they got to the final of the Carabao Cup, 13th in the league. Can't complain too much of that, can you? Cannot complain too much of that. Well, Fulham with 13 wins, 5 draws and 20 losses. They got over the magic 40-point mark. Definitely one to work with, that is for sure. And 13th, heavily in the mid-table there, as I said. Give that to Fulham fans before the start of the season, before they kick the ball. They'd happily take that. 58 goals scored, 75 conceded, so definitely on the high side again. Defensively, as tactic, despite playing with 3 at the back. Very leaky, so maybe it's worth switching from attacking to positive. I'm not entirely sure. 58 goals is definitely more than satisfactory. 44 points, it's decent. Let's check out the home record. Well, they had quite a decent home record, has to be said, especially for a team who were down the bottom there. 9 wins, 5 draws and 5 losses, so pretty much half their games they won at home, which is a decent record there. 38 goals scored, 32 conceded. That must mean the away record was pretty disastrous. Well, away from home, they won 4, drew none, and lost 15. So away from home was pretty poor from Fulham, it has to be said. But all in all, they've done enough. 13th in the league, heavily mid-table there, and a Carabao Cup finalist. I think that's a good season. Let's check out some of the results here. Beat Arsenal 3-1 at home at the start of the season there. That's quite nice. Lost to Liverpool 5-2. Had a good period here. 3 wins in a row. Doesn't look like as many goals as Southampton, does it? Not quite as thrilling for the Fulham fans. Lost at home to Man United 5-0, which is never nice. This period here in February was absolutely terrible. Lost away to Man U 3-1. Again, lost away to the world's best team, Leeds. Apparently 5-1. Well, saying that's 4 tricky games in a row. Let's not be too harsh here. Man United away, Leeds away, Chelsea away, then Arsenal away. And also an FA Cup game between there, away to Arsenal in the Carabao Cup semi-final at the start of the month as well. They lost in the final to Chelsea 2-1, which is unfortunate. Great wins in here as well, though. Beat Aston Villa 5-0. Beat Newcastle 5-2 at home as well. Beat Southampton 3-1. So all in all, it's just, I'd say it's decent. For, you know, getting the Carabao Cup final as well, puts the cherry on top. If they'd have won the Carabao Cup, it would have been a brilliant season. But 13th and a Carabao Cup finalist, it's better than usual for Fulham, so I think that's success really. With Fulham and Southampton, it's been quite successful. With Chelsea, not so much. Well, unfortunately, Fulham haven't had an out-and-out goal scorer. You know, well, Mitrovic has got 19 goals Mitrovic has got 1 and 2, so I'm guessing it's pretty decent. 19 goals in 38 games. Not quite Armstrong or Che Adams though, but 19 goals is definitely respectable. 16 goals for Vinicius as well in 44 games. So that's decent as well. It's a Diop with 8 goals from centre-back there. And Pereira with 8 goals and 16 assists. So he really did flourish. Well, difference in this with Fulham is the centre-back has actually got the highest average rating in the team here of 7.12. It's a Diop. Obviously, his 8 goals definitely contributed to that. But take those 8 goals away, still have quite a high average rating. So yeah, decent. Pereira, best forward player apparently. 8 goals and 16 assists. That's very good from him. 19 goals for Mitrovic, as I said. 4 goals and 11 assists for Decordova-Reid. So all in all, just quite a decent season with Fulham. Southampton did really well, very successful. And Chelsea, a little bit underwhelming, has to be said. So take from this as you will. I'm going to say it's been quite successful because with Fulham and Southampton, definitely better than average in my opinion. Especially Southampton, of course. It was really successful. Chelsea let down the video a little bit. But all in all, Olelbis 3-3-2-2. Pretty decent. Anyway, guys, please remember that if you like this video, hit that like button for me. As I said before, it really helped this video get some more people. And also, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out, and you much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.